Hey guys, this video is on business operations, how to start and successfully run a business. The first thing you want to do when starting a business is to determine ownerships amongst your partners. Because more than likely when you start this business, you're going to start it with other people. And you need to determine how much ownership should each person have. There are some things that you really want to do before you move forward and to determine that ownership. First thing you want to do is have each person pitch their strengths. Tell everybody what are they really good at. And then as a group, you want to collectively determine what is very important for the business to succeed. Like here I have sales, marketing, technology. And then everyone is going to rank themselves and each other from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, on how well their abilities are with those key aspects. Then you will average those rankings together and use them to fill in the ownership table we'll look at on the next page. You want to stay away from a 50% ownership. And the reason is you can get into gridlock with this, and you can get in a position where you can take no action because you have a disagreement. When you start a business, everybody's happy. But sometimes in business, people aren't happy, and especially when there's a lot of money involved. So you can get disagreements, and if you're in a 50%, you can get to a point where no action can be taken because two people just disagree on what to do, and that's where you fall into gridlock. So to determine ownership, you want to fill in this ownership table. And we're going to go column by column with this, and we'll show you how to do this. The first column here is your important aspects that you came up with with your group. Our example here with our business that we came up with, me, John, Peter, my partner, and Mike, my partner for this business, we said that sales, technology, operations, and management were the most important things to this business. Then collectively, we determined how important they were. So sales, we said it was the most important, saying it was at 50%. Technology is at 30%. Operations was 10%, and management is 10%, adding that up to 100. Then we went person by person, taking the ranks that we ranked ourselves and each other, taking an average and filled in each of our scores. So let's start with Peter. For sales, Peter scored an average of 8, which is pretty good. Peter's really good at sales. Then he got a 1 for technology. Peter's not so good with technology. Operations, he received a 1, and management, he received a 3 because he's somewhat okay. So now we have to determine how well what Peter's weight is compared to how much we weighted each of these aspects. So to do that, let's start with sales. We took his 8 that he scored for here, multiplied by the 50% that we said how important sales was, and we got Peter's weight. It's 4. 8 times 50%, you get 4. Then for technology, 1 times 30%, 0.3. Then operations, 1 times 10% is 0.1. Then 3 times 10% is 0.3. So that's Peter's weights for each of these key aspects. We're then going to add these up together, and we get 4.7. And that's Peter's weight based on the weights we've determined for the key aspects. So let's do mine now. I got an average score for sales at 6. Technology 3, operations 5, management 5. Let's determine my weights. So 6 multiplied by 50%, I get 3. 3 times 30%, I get 1. 5 times 10%, 0.5. 5 times 10%, 0.5. Add up my weights, I get 5. And then we'll do the same for Mike. Take his averages, multiply them by the percentage weight for our key aspects to get Mike's weight, add them up. So now we have Peter's weight, my weight, and Mike's weight. Next thing, we need to add those up. So we're going to add 4.7 plus 5 for me, plus 4.5 for Mike, and we get 15.1. So that's our total points. So I'll take 4.7 divided by 15.1 to get Petership's ownership. Then we'll take my 5% divided by 15.1 and get my ownership. And then the same for Mike, 5.4 divided by 15.1 to get Mike's ownership. So this might be a little tricky the first time, come see me to let me check you off to make sure you determine your ownerships properly, but you really want to fill this out when determining ownership, because that will give you a good idea on people's ability and how important they are to the key aspects of your business. Once you've determined ownership, you then need to start looking at starting the actual business by either incorporating or filing an LLC. You'll need to get an occupations license to be able to set up a bank account. You'll have to file taxes each year, and you'll have yearly registration fees you need to fill out with the state. The taxes and yearly registration fees, those will be done by your tax accountant. So don't really worry about how these are done because you can have an accountant do that for you. For your incorporating, good one to use is LegalZoom. I have down below. You can get all of the items you need for incorporating for $100 here or $360 here, depending on what you want with that. If you want checks, I think I did this one when I incorporated my business, and I got a checkbook with it, which was really nice. Occupational license, you'll have to go down to your city hall and fill that out. You'll have to determine your overhead, which we did in startup costs. You'll have to determine your marketing strategy and how you're going to market, which you looked at within startup costs as well. And the last thing is you really want to focus on sales, because sales is what really drives profit and drives your product doing well. And there are 7 approaches to sales. You'll start out with 1, the prospect. Who is the person you want to sell to? 2, you'll come up with an approach to how you approach them. 3, you'll set up an interview to be able to meet with them. 4, you'll devise a proposal to tell them how much it's going to cost and what good you're going to do for their company. 5, you'll do a demonstration of your product. 6, you'll have to negotiate. There's a great book called Getting to Yes to read about principal negotiation for negotiating price. And last one is support, making sure that after you sell them your products that they have that continued support so they'll want to continue to buy your products. Well, that's it for business operations. Just really make sure that you fill out that ownership table. That's very key. Do not do 50-50%. Put the effort into filling out that table for ownership, and I promise your business will operate much more smoothly than just saying, oh, I'll take 50, you take 50. All right? And if you have any questions, please let me know.